Hey everybody, welcome to episode 244, Belonging in a World That Wants You to Shrink. And Tiff and I are doing this on video. Yes, we are not in the same place. How sad.
Oh, honey.
Oh, it's so sad. I'm in the office.
And I'm in my office.
Yeah, we are in two different places, but we thought, you know what? We're going to get this episode recorded because it's really important. And the question is, have you ever felt like you're too much? Too loud?
Are you asking me or them?
I'm asking the listener. We know you felt. Well, maybe
I am too much. I am simply too much.
Right. But you, the listener, have you ever felt like you're too much, too loud, too sensitive? You cry too much, you're too ambitious, you have too many ideas. You know, all the things that we all face. So what if the very thing the world is telling you is too much is actually the most powerfully true thing about you? And by you embracing these parts of yourself, that your life will feel a million times better. That you could have more joy, more peace, more fun, more power, more success, better relationships if you were actually more yourself.
Well, I feel like that's true.
It is true. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're so glad to be with you. Tiff and I have a very big mission on this planet to help you, the listener, return to the truth of you. And sometimes the truth of ourselves gets buried under the lies of you're too much.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts when we're kids and expands into our life. So before we jump in, I don't know if you can still see my shirt. Oh my God. I was out running in a hailstorm, not jogging, mind you. I was running into the store and I was going to get myself some lunch. And I was talking to Tiff on the phone before we got on this call. And I'm like, yeah, babe, I was out running in the rain. She goes, what were you doing out in the rain? I said I was getting myself some lunch. And she's like, why didn't you get me lunch?
See, I'm too much.
No, I think that's just right. It was funny. But we had a huge deluge of rain and hail and crazy. It was baby hail, so it wasn't huge. But yeah.
Well, it was kind of big. It looked the pea size.
Yeah, it was definitely bigger than peas.
Was it bigger than peas?
It was bigger than peas.
Well, then that's a big hail.
It was, and there was so much like raindrops per inch. They were either really big raindrops or just a lot of raindrops. It was crazy. So Tiff, how has your day been today? Let's just, before we jump in, like, what have you been doing today?
Well, I just got done teaching a class to our empath school. And we're talking all about the clairs. And I got the whole class taught today. It usually takes me 2 or 3 weeks for the class. And it was great. I got to see all of our students, and that was amazing. I always love to see their beautiful faces on Zoom. Right. And I kind of made some lemon tea, and too much. This is why I say I'm too much, and I'm actually proud of it. But everything I do is extreme. So I have 2 tea bags, squeeze half a lemon, and put it on honey, which is just the way I do it. Everything. More is better. More is better.
Well, that's what we're going to really talk all about today is like, that's Tiff's way, right? Like if you're going to have something delicious, Tiff, you make sure it's like absolutely what you want. You're not
there is no reason to eat or do anything if it's not wonderful.
You're not going to half-ass it.
No. Nothing. Ever.
If you can't have it the way you want it, you don't want it.
That's right.
I love that about you, actually. You've really come a long way, a really long way.
We've come a long way.
I've come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
With actually having toast and butter and hamburgers and all the things that I didn't know I wanted because I was always trying to hold back. I was shrinking myself.
Babe, I just think about the first piece of toast you made me in our life, and it had a skiff of butter. And I'm like, why the hell would you even put butter on here if you can't even taste it? I said, let me show you how to put butter on.
You totally did.
I did.
I have never buttered my toast scarcely again.
That's true. And what did you think about my buttered toast when I showed you? Were you just so appalled?
I, I was so astounded that you could actually have that much butter on your toast. And now it's like everything we have is just buttery delish.
Ooh. And let me tell you a secret you don't know yet.
Ooh.
One of my friends just dropped off a big, huge bag, Ziploc bag full of homemade dough.
No, for what?
For either for bread and butter
Ooh.
or cinnamon rolls.
Oh my God.
She made it. And it's
That sounds amazing.
dough. So you'll have a surprise when you get home.
Oh my God, how nice. That sounds amazing. Okay, Tiff, so hold on just one sec. I'm going to have to just pause for just one moment. Okay.
It made
So the real question is, are you going to make some bread out of your dough so I can make bread and jam? Toast.
it's a lot of dough. So
That's nice.
I was going to make cinnamon rolls for you.
Oh my God, that would be even better. Let's do that.
I know you love cinnamon rolls.
I love cinnamon
It
rolls.
was a labor of love. Her husband dropped it off on the door in a bag. And I opened in this huge amount of dough. And I sent her a message. I said, that is a labor of love.
Did Belinda make it?
Yes, Belinda made it. And she goes, it is. I still have flour on the floor.
Oh my God, right? Well, that's how I felt. That's how I felt when I was whipping up the cookie dough.
Oh, yeah.
The batter, the cookie dough for our sugar cookies. And my God, what a mess. Because there was so much flour, so much butter, so much sugar. And you turn on the KitchenAid and like flour's like flying
I just
everywhere.
have to know how not to do that.
No, seriously. Okay. One of the things, since we're on Zoom, we have to be careful not to talk over because it drowns the other person in the recording. So, podcast listeners, you're hearing the inside scoop. Were you waiting to make sure and not talk over me
Yeah.
to see if I was done?
I'm really good at doing this. I don't know if you'll be okay though, because you love to interrupt me.
So true. Even right then, I felt myself wanting to like jump in and say something right when she was saying that. So this will be an excellent practice in restraint for me.
So what are we going to talk about?
I have a question and you're going to answer it, Tiff.
I am?
Yeah. I'd like to know from your life experience, where have you felt pressure? If you have, which is kind of interesting because I think you're going to have much different answers than me. And so where in your life did you feel pressure to shrink, fit in, or hide who you are?
Ooh.
Right?
Well, for me, I was trying to always behave. As a kid, I didn't like get drunk and do drugs and do all the things that teenagers do. I wish I would have done that, but I didn't do that. But I was always loud. So my family members were always telling me to stop being so loud or laughing so much. They said I was so dramatic and extreme. And I would say I guess I'm dramatic and extreme, but it was the definition that something's not right with you. So I was always trying not to be too much, but I never could do that.
I bet.
I couldn't really be quiet. I was always in trouble for talking. I just was so about connection and other people and all the things and talking and laughing and being silly. I had a ton of energy and I think it was just part of my family. So yeah, that's probably where. But
did you ever feel like you needed to hide who you are?
Well, I had a lot of body shame.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had this perfect body. very voluptuous from from a young age. And I would put on a one-piece bathing suit and wear a huge t-shirt down. I could never show my body. I was too afraid.
Why?
I don't know. I think I was just afraid of men being pigs, you know?
I bet, especially if you had bigger boobs as a younger
Yeah,
person.
I had some experiences. So I was just like, don't look at my body. I'm so different now. Now I don't care if somebody looks at my body, but yeah, I felt I had body shame. And what, you know what is really sad is that I really, really had a wonderful body and I just thought it was never okay. I hate that.
Which is such a common story.
Yeah.
So often you hear people and ourselves look back and think, why did I see myself the way I saw myself?
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm sure when I'm 80 and I'm covered in wrinkles, I'll be upset that I didn't absolutely adore my body now because I still carry body shame. I don't show it. Like I can go out and dance and do everything everyone else does, but I am a bigger person and I really can't stand it. And I feel uncomfortable in my body a lot.
And that makes you, but what I find, I love the fact that you still go do all the things.
Yeah, I'm not going to stop doing it, but I would like to feel joyful and not, insecure about it. And I don't know if I'll ever get there. I'm working on it.
That makes sense. I would say for me, my entire life, I felt like I was shrinking myself and trying to fit in. And maybe, being a trans man, being born in a body that didn't match the truth of who I was on the inside created a lot of that. But to me, it feels like more of what created my need to hide or shrink was religion. Because I literally even felt guilty if I laughed really loud.
Did you?
Yes. And that was a family thing. And there was something in the church that we grew up in, the religion that we grew up in about loud laughter, wasn't there? Was it in scripture? Or, I don't know. Was it in the Bible or the Book of Mormon?
Avoid loud laughter, a whole bunch of other things.
Even the very appearance of evil, like it was connected to the appearance of evil. So, and I laugh loud. I'm a loud laugher. And I remember even my oldest sister always talking about how loudly she laughed, but she didn't care, which is awesome. But I really did care. So I was always trying to adjust myself, trying to fit, trying to do it right. Ugh, it was exhausting. Everything about my life, I was like a shrinky dink. Did you ever do shrinky dinks? Did you?
What
You
that
know,
is.
oh my God, it was the most amazing craft. It was like you had this clear, like plastic, and you could color it, and then you would bake it in the oven, and it would shrink up into a
Oh,
shrinky dinks. Do you remember?
they really called that, babe?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was anyway. So I felt like a shrinky dink. I felt like I was always just this little small version of the bigness of who I really am. And now I live much louder. I live much more real. I'm very, very authentic. I like what I like, and I'll talk about it. I'll enjoy it. I'll drink tequila. I'll slather my toast up with butter. I can't even eat a piece of toast without so much butter now. Thank you, Tiff. And I would just say, Tiff, did you feel like since you've been somebody that's, I would say, is more aligned with the truth of yourself, did you ever feel a crossover when you finally stepped more into your truth, which I can think of a couple for you that you had to really lean in big time with the truth of your authentic self. And how was that? What was the cost in your life? And the one I'm thinking of is your spiritual gifts,
Oh,
right?
I forgot about that.
Right? Because you had to keep everything under wraps to match what you'd been taught.
Yeah, and what was the cost?
Yeah. What were you afraid the cost would be?
Well,
Why did you stay small? Why did you stay back?
I
What
thought people would think I was crazy.
uh,
That's what I was afraid of, is that people would be like, she's lying, she's crazy, and I didn't want to deal with it. I had had so much abuse in my life. I was just like, I don't need to do anything that will add to my trauma in life. I ended up doing the inner work to be able to come out, and now I don't really give a fuck. Like, I don't think I have run into anybody that said I'm crazy. And except for one person that took me to court, that tried to take me to court and say that I'd lost my mind. But honestly, I don't really care at this point if someone thinks I'm crazy. I think it really comes down to the place of fully accepting yourself and then just moving forward, not really caring. I've just lost all my fucks. I keep talking about it. I have no more fucks to give. And so I'm just like living my best life right now. And I'm not worried about it. But I didn't say anything about my gifts ever. And I've had them since I was born.
Yeah, you never did. You would never talk about it. I remember when you one day you're like, I wonder if I have the ability in my hands to heal myself. And you actually healed yourself. And
Yeah.
I knew you did. I had no question about it. I'm like, I know you do because you've already worked on me and you totally have the ability to heal. No
Yeah.
question. And that was way back at the beginning before you came out.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of the things I always say is everybody has to come out of the closet, everybody
Yeah. For something.
several times. Like there are just things that we don't do,
True.
ways that we don't show up because we're afraid of what the reaction might be or what the rejection will be or if we will be abandoned, which is a human innate fear that we all have. So
Yeah.
what would you say, what with you saying I have no more fucks left to give, so
Yeah.
that says you're living a very authentic to what feels aligned to you, setting boundaries, saying no, saying yes to the things that light you up, not doing the things that don't, stepping away from relationships, places, people, things. And what brought you here to this state of being?
That's such a good question. I think my entire life brought me here, but something that was really pivotal for me was my brain injury 5 years ago when I lost all semblance of reality. And then I didn't have control of my bodily functions anymore, like my breathing, my walking, my digestive system. And I just realized how important life was. And when I began to recover from that, I redesigned my life. I reinvented my life. It's like a rebirth for me. And gradually, I've just recognized what hurts me and what heals me, or what feels good and what doesn't feel good. And it's taken me a long time to stop and say, I'm as important as everyone else at the table. And so I'm going to start living a life where I put myself first so that I actually can show up in the world doing what I choose to do here in this life. And I am now at a point where I feel like I've crossed a threshold where I just am not going to accept anything that doesn't serve me anymore. I'm just done. And it took a lot of hardship in order to gradually let go because I was so conditioned to lose myself in the service of others. And I typically had better boundaries than most people, but it's just been as of late that I just am done. I don't pretend. I don't try and stick with something that doesn't feel right anymore. I'm just finished with that stuff. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that does. That's exactly what I
Do
was
you feel
wondering.
like I'm different?
What?
Do you feel like I'm different?
Than you used to be?
Uh,
Yes, definitely. And yeah, your brain injury, like you were taken down to the dregs of hell
yeah.
and almost dead to do it. And it's really powerful thing to watch from this side because what it took for you to get here was terrifying and extremely, extremely painful. And many people have terrifying and extremely painful experiences. And I do believe that every one of those painful, terrifying experiences, there will be good from it, but it's painful and terrifying as you navigate it. It's very, very,
Yeah. Scary.
you don't see the good till you get to the other side and you look
Yeah,
back.
and then there's a lot of good. I really wouldn't go back and change a thing, but I am so glad I'm not there. But I'm very grateful for the experience I had. Oh my, the blessings I got from that experience are really immeasurable. I can't even speak about all the good things, but it's scary. Human beings go through really, really hard stuff.
We do, don't we? That's
Uh,
when I say life is really messy, that's what I mean. It's messy. It's messy for all of us. And the next question that I want to speak to is about how, Tiff, you and I support each other, and how, Tiff, you felt supported by me in staying big, staying true, getting more and more authentic, and also how you've supported me. And I'll just start like, I wouldn't be where I am without Tiff, like standing with me. And I know I had to make my own decisions every step of the way. To be first, the first big decision I had to make was, am I willing to be in a relationship with Tiffany? And to do that, that would mean I would have to walk away from my religion of origin. And I was terrified because, my salvation was tied up in that to me. I believed that I was choosing between my heart loving Tiffany and my good name with God because of what I had been trained to believe, right? So because I love Tiff so much, and I never knew this kind of love. I never knew I could feel this way. When we met, it was like a plug in a socket. Everything in my world changed. Everything that I wanted, every desire, my focus just went right towards Tiff, and it's never turned away. And anyone that knows us can feel this about me with her, and her love of me because of how you talk so beautifully about how much you love me, Tiff. But you have been my number one support. I've never had more support in my life from another living being. I have never felt more loved. I have never felt more believed in. I've never had somebody that could see my power before I could see it, that just held the vision in her heart while I've been on my journey walking along, saying yes to myself in bigger and bigger ways, coming more into the truth of myself and the truth of my power and my ability to run a business and to do the work that I do and to co-lead a movement with Tiff on this planet. And we've been doing this now together. We've been together 19 years. We're in our 19th year together. And our business 16, 17 of those years, and we've just gone big. Like, right, Tiff? Like, we've never gone small. We just go big, 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 big every step of the way. And thank you, Tiff, for being such a huge, like, talk about having an advocate. Like, you have advocated for me and my truth longer than I ever have in my life. And you came in and brought it in this last 19 years. And I have done more with my life this last 19 years. And this is only the beginning, baby. We're going places. So thank you for that, Tiff. It's been huge. Seriously, you are such a catalyst for my growth. So thank you. So how about you?
You're welcome, honey. I think you're the most amazing man that's ever walked the earth. Truly. What's the question again?
The question is, how have you felt support in our relationship to stay big, to go bigger, to be more authentic, to live your truth? How have you felt support in from me as your
Yeah,
partner?
so you have never expected me to be different than I am. And I would say that I'm a pretty extreme person. I would be considered too much by most standards, I think. And you've always just loved everything about me, which was so critical to feeling for my own personal acceptance of myself. I everything I do a little bit unique. It's not typical. And you just loved everything that I did. And then that right there would have been enough. But you also have made it possible for me to have a life that's conducive to my sensitivities. So being a very gifted person, my brain and my nervous system, my body doesn't work. Like I could never go and work from 9 to 5 at an office. I couldn't do it. I just operate differently in most ways. And you work your ass off every single day so that I can live a soft life. And thank God, because I really love my life, and you've been willing to. I feel like it's such a sacrifice for you to do what you do. And you say you love it. And I've had a lot of guilt about it because I'm like, oh, I should be doing more. I'm getting kind of out of that zone. You're like, I really love what I do. If I had to do what you did, you always say you would hate it. So I think we're in a good place with each other, but we respect each other also in the divine masculine and feminine vibrational balance between the two of us. I don't tell you what to do, and you don't try and make me be calm all the time and stable, I should say, because a feminine energy is not stable. And I'm not talking about an unstable person that's crazy. I'm talking about the fact that my energy is in constant motion and movement, and I have a lot of things that I have to do to care for myself so I feel well. And you're supportive of all of it, and you make everything possible for me so I can have whatever life I want. So I've got it pretty good.
I would say it's my greatest joy to do that. I'm living in total integrity with what feels aligned to me. There's nothing that makes me happier than knowing what you want and providing a container or a pathway for you to have it. So when you had your brain injury and everything about our life tipped upside down, um, I'm really grateful for that time, most especially that you lived and that you made it because it was life and death. And I just watched you come back from nothing. And just witnessing your power of um, tenacity to keep going, even though nothing in your brain was supporting that you could. Like you were just, your fear was killing you. It was so extreme, and just to watch you come back from that was such an amazing experience and the hardest thing I've ever done. To not be able to rescue you, to not be able to take it away, to not be able to like just fix it. And I learned a lot about surrender and trust and prayer. I think I got my lessons on prayer not from my, childhood, my first 18 years, but actually in that 6 months, in that first 6 months right after your brain injury, that's when I really learned that there is support for us, that we aren't in this by ourselves, that there is help. And whew, anyway, so I would love to give you the world. Like, I just want to give you the world. The more you know what you want, the more I can give you what you want. That makes me extremely happy. This is very aligned with the truth of me. I'm living my truth. It feels like pure alignment. There's no part of me that's like, I should do this. It's like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. So we're in a really good place. I feel like you and I are a really good match with our support of one another, and that each of us gives the other such freedom to fly and to express ourselves in a way that's most true for us. And
Yeah.
I love that about us. I love it. I think it's amazing.
You know what I think is we're an amazing duo. We're both Leos, and we both have the same moon sign, which is Scorpio. And it's funny because I always would have thought that two Leos would be fighting, but we never compete. We don't
We don't ever compete.
ever.
Mm-mm.
I don't think there's been one time in 19 years. I think any success you have is my success too. And I'm sure you feel the same way. We just have our own gifts. And you're so good at not wanting me to be different
Because
than
I
I
don't
am.
want,
I am wild. Like, look at my hair. I mean, this shows you my wildness. I'm
yeah,
a wild person.
I don't want you to be different.
Thank God.
I don't want you to be different. I want you to be you. So another thing I'd like to talk about, I don't even know how long we've been recording, but that's okay. We'll figure this out. I'd love to know, Tiff, I'd like to have you talk about where the messages come from. Like, why do we think we need to shrink?
Mm.
Where would you say that that comes from?
Well, from patriarchy and hierarchy. For women and men, patriarchy. We are told to shrink, to fit into boxes so that we can be controlled. I mean, I'm just going to give you the thing. And then hierarchy, it's like the higher ups tell you what to do and then you can't ever be there. And the truth is that we are all unique creations of the divine. So no one is the same, and we all have gifts, and we all have things to bring to the people that we love. We have creativity that we bring into our that brings joy into our own lives. And we're just trying to fit into what people tell us we're supposed to be. And this is where it comes from. Once you get you know what I think happened for us is I think that we made some bold decisions that made the people that we were in boxes with kick us out of the box. And the reason we've been able to do these really big things that we do is because we're not in boxes anymore. But everybody's born into a box, and you have to choose to walk out. The doors are not locked. And those boxes have rules and regulations.
Oh my God, we feel like we're locked in. We feel like there's no way to get out. The only thing that's holding us in is familiarity of the zone we're in, right?
Yeah.
We really think, and as you're talking about that, God, that is so true. And in one thing I can see with clarity as you're talking about this with patriarchy and hierarchy and all of the different religions and how hierarchy plays into that and patriarchy and how we all just learned how to behave a certain way so we could belong
Yeah.
because we want to belong, right? We're relational by nature. Our creation as a human is very relational. We want to belong. We don't want to be kicked out, but it's also coming from our primitive upbringing, right? Where we had to be together in the group or we'd be dead.
Yes.
You had to have that group mentality. So we're just hit from all sides thinking we have to stay a certain way, and then we start to believe based on our upbringing and childhood and all the different ways in order to get ahead or to get the treat or to not be put in timeout, you had to do it their way. So then we get taught, oh, I have to go to school and be this way. This is how I have to live my life. I have to go to college. I have to do it this way. I have to go to the college my mom wants me to go to, so she'll talk to me. I remember when I got accepted to two different universities, and the one I wanted to go, she wouldn't speak to me for 3 weeks because I told her that's where I was going to go. And guess what I did? I went to the one she wanted me to go to because I didn't want to lose my mother's love.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep.
So it's a very real thing, shrinking. And I just would like to speak to this aspect of it as well. In our group coaching work, the group that I coach called Voice and Vocation, I'm coaching people that have a dream, they have an idea, they have something that they haven't started a business, but they are ready to roll it out. They want to so deeply. They don't have any idea how. Those are my people. They're the ones that they walk in. I'm like, I'm going to help you start making money using this with this beautiful idea that you're going to bring to the world. The number one issue that I see across the board is wanting to hide and the fear of being seen. We
Yep.
are so deeply afraid of being seen because if we don't match what other people want, then we're afraid we'll be ostracized and ultimately that we won't have success.
Yep.
That's the number one killer of anyone's dream is the dream killer. It literally is. And that's why hiring a coach, you can hire me, and I will not let you kill your dream. I will hold your dream up for you, and I will not let you stop.
Now you need to put a tag. Jack will not let you kill your dream.
Right?
Listen, I know some of your students, and they're like, Jack helps me do this. You do not let people slide by.
No. And I know what it takes to be seen. And Tiff and I have Bagwork, which is our coaching. That's the way we coach is with Bagwork. Tiff created Bagwork. We built our business on Bagwork. Bagwork is the modality that allows people to get real with themselves, figure out what they're believing that's bullshit, and actually get rid of it.
Forever.
It's incredible. And it's the reason I've and Tiff have been able to fly so fast because our limiting beliefs aren't dragging us down to the depths of hell. We just cut them off, cut them off, cut them off. And our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings create our behavior, and our behavior creates our life. So we have to pay attention to what we're thinking. And my God, this topic of shrinking, once you get real with yourself about the bullshit lies you're telling yourself or the box you're probably still living in, How are you boxing yourself in? So what I would like to do, Tiff, before we wrap up, I would just love for people to just really pause. Listener, I'd love for you to think about this. Write down one thing that you've been told about you, to you, that is too much. So wherever you feel like you're too much, wherever you've been told you're too much, write it down and look at it. And then write down right after that how that very thing about you is your greatest gift.
Ooh.
And your power. And I want you to email us. I'll put the email to email us and tell us. We'd love to know. Where have you been telling yourself you're too much, and where is that actually your greatest power? You can send it to us, support@yourreturnpath.com. Send it in. We want.
I love it.
And it's time to be seen. It's time to be heard. It's time to burn that fucking box to the ground.
Amen. I was just thinking, people, when they don't want to be seen, it's because they have a belief inside of them, a limiting belief that tells them if they're actually seen, they'll be rejected in some way. That's always the scariest thing, because we want to be connected to others because we're relational creatures. So you have to be brave, and you have to put yourself out there anyway. We're not going to give you some map to make it so you have no feelings and emotions about being seen. It's not possible. What we will tell you is it takes courage. And what you will find on the other side is more support than you ever thought possible. You just have to jump.
Right. You
do it.
You just have to jump, and it's in the jump that the way appears. If you don't jump, you will not know where to go. It's the jump that creates it. It's the jump that creates the bridge. It's the jump that creates the net. It's the jump that creates the next step. If you don't jump, there's no next step.
And so if you're waiting for the step to show up so you can actually step on it, it's not coming.
It is not coming.
You have to just step and hope that there is something there to catch you. And then when you see, oh, of course there is, the next step appears.
Right. I think it was Steve Jobs that said, you never will know how to get where you're going until you've gotten where you were going. And you look back and go, well, holy shit.
Yep, totally.
That's how we got here.
Ah, totally.
That is our life. That's the life that Tiff and I live, for sure. Oh
my
God.
We did not choose a path that did not cause discomfort.
Right. Okay, so even when it comes to our little tag, eat dessert first, like right there, that is so not in the box. You like, don't you think it's crazy? Like if you go to the restaurant, you order dessert first. You're like, okay, this is what I want for dessert. I'd like it ordered first, and then I want my salad and then my entree.
Yeah. Guess who did that before she ever met you? I did.
I know, right?
Yeah. And people would be like, are you serious? You want dessert first? I'm like, of course. And I think I'm the one that came up with that tagline.
You did. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because
I never would have eaten dessert first.
Never.
No.
But you did the other night.
I know, right? Oh yeah. We talked about that in last week's podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That really is the message. Stop shrinking, burn the box down. Let us know the question that we asked. Write down one area where you've told or been told you're too much, and then write down why that is actually your greatest gift. Right?
Ooh, that's so good.
Into us. We'd love to hear. So Tiff, I think that's a wrap, unless there's something else you would like to share.
Nope, just eat dessert first.
Because life is meant to be devoured.
Amen.
If there's something that we shared here that you loved, share us everywhere. If you hated it, just zip it. We love you. We'll see you soon.
Bye.